Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we, am I? Our game is not logical, but you contemplate, are we, am I?
Ago today, the Minnesota Wild last won a playoff series. April 30th, 2015. That's a long time ago. That's, if you're a Wild fan, that's way too long. Let's raise my headphones here. But standing in the way of the Minnesota Wild breaking that long streak of not winning a playoff series is the Dallas Stars. And the Dallas Stars are a really good hockey team when they're playing like the peak Dallas Stars that we know of. Right now, they're not that. Right now, the Dallas Stars are a team that has zero depth scoring. Like, that is not hyperbole. Zero is literally the number. They don't have a goal outside of their top 5 scorers in this series. That's the reality of the Stars so far in this series. So I assume in order to win the next 2 games, they're going to need somebody not named Wyatt Johnston or Jason Robertson to step up and do something for them offensively. And Minnesota, just more of your same game. You've been playing fantastic at 5-on-5. You've dominated possession at 5-on-5. You've dominated the scoring at 5-on-5. Wallstead has been... I'm trying to run down the goalies in the playoffs so far. Freddie was unbelievable against the Ottawa Senators. But, like, what are you going to do? It's the Ottawa Senators, and it's a 4-game sweep. So, Wallstead's probably the best goalie in the playoffs so far, considering his competition. They had just had the graphic on the screen there to back up what I was just saying. 11-3 at 5-on-5, advantage Minnesota is the score. Let's run through that lineup. Let's run through that lineup that I was just talking about. 2015 Minnesota Wild, they beat the St. Louis Blues. I'm going to reach over here and pull that up for you. This is who was on the ice. Thank you to Hayden. Big Minnesota Wild super fan producer Hayden gave me the heads up on this one to call out the lineup that was on the ice the last time the Minnesota Wild won a series, which was April 30th, 2015. Jonas Brodin. We got Matt Cook. I'm looking at any Nino Niederreiter, Mikko Koivu, Jason Pominville, Zach Parise, Ryan Suter, of course, Parise and Suter, Jason Zucker. Devin Dubnyk was in goal. He was the starting goalie that game. He got that win over St. Louis. Jordan Leopold. There's a name. Jordan Leopold. Mikael Granlund. The Charlie Coyle. I forgot. I completely forgot Charlie Coyle was a Minnesota Wild. When I think of Charlie Coyle, I think of the Bruins. That's where I think of Charlie Coyle. Matt Cook, like, of course he took a penalty in that game. Is that the most obvious thing in the world, that Matt Cook had a penalty in that game? I'm going to shout out this. We had a renewal of the Super Chat membership from Carl. Shout out Carl. That says Dallas in 7. Oh, Carl thinks it's a Dallas in 7. We'll see about that. Marco Scandella was in the lineup. Zach Parise had 2 goals in this game. Nino had 1. Justin Fontaine had 1. That's where their 4 goals came from. What a lineup. What a time capsule that is. The last time the Minnesota Wild won a playoff series. Insider J Money says, please restart the stream. My friend Josh just got here. Shout out Insider J Money for hanging out here tonight. I'm going to bring up the lineups for tonight. So that was the lineup for Minnesota in 2015. Here's the lineup for Minnesota tonight. They're going Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello, Johansson, Eriksson Ek, Boldy, Trinan, McCarron, Tarasenko, Foligno, Sturm, Foligno. Oh, sorry. I said Foligno twice. Oh, yeah. There's 2 Folignos. Oh, look at that. Foligno lines. Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury sighting. He's pumping up the crowd in Minnesota and St. Paul right now. Marc-Andre Fleury and his family are getting the crowd hyped. Well done. Well done. Hughes, Faber, Middleton, Spurgeon, Bogosian, Petrie are the 6D for the Wild. For the Stars, we got Robertson, Johnson, Bork, Steele, Duchesne, Rantanen, Bunting. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Forget the lineups. Puck drop's happening. Puck drop is happening. Puck drop is happening. You can read the rest of the lineups yourself. There we go. Okay. Puck's been dropped. We got like 80 super chats too. I forgot there's only 1 anthem. We only do 1 anthem. Every game I've done so far has had a Canadian anthem in it. We just got 1 anthem and then we're playing hockey. Thank you for hanging out here. Hit like on the stream. I'm very happy to be doing this game right now. I got to do Sabres and Bruins at the end of the Blue Jays game on Tuesday, and that was really good hockey. I got to do the entire Kane series. It was really good hockey, but like Carolina won every game. At the end of the day, it wasn't that competitive. 3-0 series, and we're doing game 4, and it's like, okay, they're going to close it out eventually. Ottawa kept it close, but it wasn't close in the series score. So now we get a series here I get to stand here and watch along with you, where this is going to be a tight affair because these are two very talented teams going at it. And it's been a tight series, but as I mentioned, 5-on-5, it has not been tight, and that's what it's come down to. Minnesota's been terrible on the penalty kill. Watching these games, just like it's been a wide open cage for Dallas whenever they go on the power play. They just get to feast on all of those opportunities. So if you're Minnesota, shut down that, and Dallas keep doing what you're doing on special teams, but now get some 5-on-5 scoring from the bottom 6 of your lineup. Ottinger's got to have a good game. Ottinger can't be shaky. He's been shaky at times. We can't have a shaky Ottinger. Wallsted's been a wall. The wall of St. Paul. Jesper Wallsted in the net for the Minnesota Wild. We're having fun here tonight. 17:50 on my television screen. This clock right here will sync up with what is in front of me. So if you want to sync up your TV with what I have here, that is how you do it. Either pause me or pause your TV so that we are synced in our time. I'll keep that going for you all night long. And I will get to your super chats. Thank you for all your super chats. As soon as we get a pause here in the action, we will get that going. Quinn Hughes is taking this puck, gets to the red line, throws it in. Foligno is going to receive that pass. Fourth line out for the Wild here early. And there is a puck over the glass. Couple super chats here. Shout out Freak811. My first time in a Jesse stream. Hi, Jesse. Funny that both Brodeen and Spurgeon are still on the Wild. Yo, shout out you for the first time being here. You are going to be introduced to the DOS, the Dancing Animal Squad, at some point tonight if you've never seen one of my streams. We have a good time. I have a lot more buttons available to me than Adam and Steve, so it is a button venture, which is a button adventure. Puck's at the blue line for the Dallas Stars. They're going to try and send it in, but that is called offside by the lineman. We reset here. Another super chat here from 78 Conjo. As a Flyers fan, congrats on predicting that series correct. Yes, I did correctly predict that. Me and producer Drew had the Flyers winning. Not sure about your other prediction, but hope you are ready for Flyers in 7. Let's go Flyers. I haven't thought about who's going to win the Canes-Flyers series just yet. I don't know. I had Ottawa beating Carolina just for the fun of it. I got that one wrong. In this series here, I did predict Minnesota would come out on top over Dallas, so we'll see if I'm right about that. Thank you for your $5 super chat. This confetti is for you. There you go. And a little round of applause. Jay's playing mini tonight, too, says Denise. Denise is always hanging out on our streams. I'm refreshing the page there because I do have the second screen in the corner ready for Jay's action if I need to see anything that's happening there in that game. We love our Blue Jays around here. We keep an eye on our Blue Jays around here. Heiskanen's behind his own net, looking for Johnston, but Quinn Hughes is going to pop in there, steal that puck, do his Quinn Hughes thing, dance to the line, circle back, throw a shot on net. Ottinger is able to fend it off, send it into the corner, comes around the back. Minnesota maintains possession here, but Dallas is going to send it back to the neutral zone where Quinn Hughes picks it up and retreats the other way. Enters the blue line. Kaprizov is coming off the bench looking for that pass from Quinn Hughes. Gets it, but loses it. And it's Dallas's turn to go left to right on my television screen. Jared Spurgeon's going to go back behind his net. Pass it to Quinn Hughes, who can start the breakout. But Quinn Hughes fumbles it there. There's Moose coming in for the steal there to get that puck, but can't do anything with it as Minnesota's going to take this puck and start and regroup once again. Kaprizov gets his puck near the red line. They dump it in, and they chase it in, as you tend to do when you dump and chase. Lindell's coming over center here. Rantanen's going to play this puck into the center of the ice and get that intercepted. Lyubushkin, Leaf great Lyubushkin. Long pass there to Rantanen. Alex Petrovic receives it, sends it in, but can't maintain possession. Wild cross the red line, dump it in, and Ottinger is going to catch it and squeeze it at 14:51. Oh, we have more super chats here. Sorry, just refreshing everything. Steeson Schiller. Shout out Steeson Schiller. Let's go, Mini. Getting some love from SDPN. Yes, we have a giant Minnesota Wild fan working at our network. Hayden, producer Hayden. If you watch any of Adam's streams, Hayden's always producing those. Sometimes it's Maddie, but usually it's Hayden. He's a huge Minnesota Wild fan, has been his whole life. So we do have some Minnesota Wild love here at the network, but, you know, we are impartial in this game. I do not personally have a dog in this fight other than my pick on my Spark bracket. But if Dallas Stars pull this out, I won't be happy or sad either way. I'm here for good hockey. I am here for hockey. McCarron's behind his own net, gets crushed by Petrovic. Bischel is going to elbow Tarasenko and no call there. It's they're both going for the puck. I don't think it was elbowing. I'm not surprised they didn't call that, but it was a little close play there. Here's a shot off the side of the goal there. Ottinger's in nice position. I don't know if it would have hit maybe the back of him and bounced in. Yeah, they got a shot on goal for that. Minnesota did. So definitely bounced off his pad. Had to be in position for that one. But Dallas is going to regroup as they gain possession here. A lot of ozone time for Minnesota there. Looking dangerous early on at 5-on-5. Freak811 says, bro, the Jays are playing the Twins. If you don't win, I'm worried for you. There's been plenty of losses to the Twins for the Jays. Quinn Hughes shot from the slot. Wrists it top shelf. Minnesota gets on the board first. Let's play Olay. That is one hell of a snipe show by Quinn Hughes. Receives that puck just inside the blue line. He makes his way down to the face-off dot towards the slot. Shoots that. Oh, beauty top shelf. And that is a 1-0 lead for the Minnesota Wild. What a start, what a start, what a start. The chat is popping off tonight. Oh my goodness. You guys are doing your thing. Sorry, I keep dropping things. We have 10 gifted memberships by Freak811. Thank you, Freak. If you received a gifted membership, say thank you to the giftee. If you are a gift receiver, you are now an SDP VIP member. What a way to start this at home for Minnesota. Demon Hunter says, dude, I want great hockey. Ole, ole, ole. Thank you for the super chat. Insider J Money says, Cam York, Quinn Hughes. Insider J Money, best troll we have in the SDPN community. Yeah, if you listen to him, he always says Mitchkov is terrible. Insider J Money, factual information, thinks Mitchkov is bad at hockey. So that's just true. That's just true. No lie there. I had this giant super chat from Prime McManus. Thank you, Prime McManus. As Quinn Hughes has the puck here, coming over the red line. Let's see if we get some more Quinnesota. Oh, offside with that. Offside at 12:01 for Quinnesota. We're going to our first commercial break here. It feels like so much has happened. The super chat from Prime McManus said, if the Stars lose tonight, how long until we have conversations about Otter not being good enough? The Stars have other issues, but outside of 2022, he's been inconsistent as all hell. That is an interesting question. I personally am not going to hang this series on Ottinger. Last year, there's a lot of Ottinger wasn't the greatest in that series against Edmonton, and I think he deserves some criticism there. This one, I don't think the decor that they've built in Dallas is solid 1 through 6. Like, they're playing Lyubushkin a lot. They've been really looking for that, what is the second pairing on the right side is what they keep every year at the trade deadline. They always bring in somebody new for that D pairing. I think there's more issues than Otter here. I feel like you have a good starting goaltender. You know you can run him out there 55 games in the regular season, and when you get to the playoffs, he's your starting goaltender. I feel like amongst issues, depth scoring is one. That's what the issue is here. And 5-on-5 scoring against a really good defensive team like Minnesota. Remember, this should also be a conference final game. If things are fair, these two teams are meeting in the conference finals or the conference semifinals. This isn't a regular first-round loss, so I would be wary of putting too much on Ottinger and making crazy changes here. That's my thoughts there. Yeah. Dallas's offense is just not there this year. Sorry, I don't want to miss your super chats. We're back in action here, back from the commercial break. Hey, Jesse, any sports marketing book recommendations? That's from Poly Games. Sports marketing books. I haven't really read any sports marketing books. You know what? I was gonna. You know what's always good? I don't know where you are in your learning stage, but I was at the sports business conference last year in London. The university there puts it on. The Ivy Business School. Oh, here's a chance right in front. Foligno. Oh, Ottinger was down. The cage was wide open. And Foligno just couldn't get it over the leg of Ottinger, who was spread out, sprawled, snow angel style, and he did just enough to disrupt that. Oh. Wow, great job by Ottinger there. Just throwing his body at Foligno. Wow. See, that's why you don't get rid of Jake Ottinger. That's why you keep him around. Saves like that. My goodness. 931, 17 and 3. 931 save percentage, 17 and 3 following a loss. That, come on. Come on. Jake Ottinger, I don't think is the problem. You're asking about sports marketing. Last year with Agent Provocateur, myself, Adam, and Alan went down to the Ivy Business School in London, and they put on a sports marketing, sports business conference. If you can watch those, I don't have any books to recommend, but if you watch those on YouTube, like they're always filming them, always airing like the important people that they have come down and talk. Like those are always a crazy amount of information. We got a lot out of those conferences and those talks. They're like TED Talks, but like there's a bunch of them, and just about sports and sports marketing, sports business. I'd recommend watching those on YouTube. That's what I can recommend because I've seen those and they're good. Here's a shot out front by Joel Eriksson Ek. That's stopped by Otter. Good blocker save there. Quinn Hughes, Quinnesota doing his thing at the line, passes it over to Brock Faber, who does his thing. All of these backward crossover geniuses on the ice for Minnesota. Shot goes wide. Nothing doing on that one from the point. Puck's along the board here. Dallas is trying to fish it out and clear it. We got Johansson in there. Got Quinn Hughes in there. Oh, finally the puck comes loose. Shot by Faber. Goes wide. Comes out the other end of the zone and back to the other end of the ice. Brock Faber's going to reset. Come through the neutral zone with speed. Dancing around a couple of defenders. Sends it around to Kaprizov, who sends it back around the other end of the ice. Minnesota's going to lose it out of the zone there. Shot attempts in this game are 12-3. That is shot attempts. Dallas isn't even getting enough shots on board right now. Come on, Dallas. Shots actually on goal are 5-1 for Minnesota. Zuccarello with Kaprizov. Mr. I make a lot of money. Kirill. Looking to win this puck battle against Duchesne. He does. But his pass goes to Esselindell, who's going to clear the zone for Dallas. Regrouping here is Zuccarello coming in over the line. And that's going to be... Oh, no, they're all onside. They're all onside there. Kaprizov gives it away, however. And I think he's got to go off for a change. A little bit of tired legs there for Kaprizov. Middleton retreats behind Wallstead, getting the breakout pass going. Tipped and sent in deep. Foligno chases it, lays a hit, but Dallas is going to pick it up and go the other way. Here comes Foligno back the other end. They are not going to be able to complete that pass. Blackwell's looking for the breakout pass there. They don't go to him. They go to the other side, the far side of the ice. A little check there along the bench there, delivered by Foligno. Here's an open man. Shot on goal. That's Heiskanen with it. Shot goes wide and out of play. Stoppage here at 7:56. Super chat that I missed earlier from Freak811 that says, for Quinn. Yes, if you weren't here earlier, Quinnesota did get the scoring going for us today. That is why it is 1-0 on the scoreboard for Minnesota. Nice little wrister, top shelf. You gotta admire Big Balls Bill Guavin for getting that deal done. Like, if you're rooting for any team, like that's what you want your GM to be doing. Who cares? Like you gave up really good prospects to Vancouver, but right now in the playoffs, game 6, you can advance to the second round. You have Quinn Hughes scoring a goal. The trade is worth it. Like you can't regret the trade at all. You have Quinn Hughes. No matter how this thing plays out, whether he re-signs long-term, when he's eligible to do it or not, you got to celebrate a Quinn Hughes goal in game 6 of the playoffs while you're 1 win away from advancing to the next round. That's cool. That's cool as hell. Demon Hunter Mog says, welcome to the community. VIP slaps. Yeah, SDP VIP is an extra episode of the Steve Dangle podcast every single week. We talk other sports other than hockey, sometimes a little bit of hockey stuff like food stuff about hockey and pop culture stuff. You get that every Thursday night. New episodes dropping tonight, probably right after this stream. Steeson Schiller said, welcome to Quinnesota. Girthy Bettman with the super chat that said, absolute Quinema. The Minnesota Wild fans are really out tonight. Where are you Dallas Stars fans? I need you in the chat supporting the Stars too. I need to hear from you trying to will this team back into this series, back into this game. Minnesota has looked like the better team so far. They've looked like the better team for larger parts of this series. So I need you guys. I need you guys to motivate this team a little through the chat here, if I can ask for that. And Wes Richard gifts 5 SDP VIP memberships. Thank you, Wes. There's an icing call on Dallas. Thank you, Wes. If you received a gift membership from Wes Richard, who's always in our SDP live streams, please thank Wes for that gift and membership. Another super chat comes in from Jer. Jer says, Dallas was my pick for a cup, but are they this bad? One shot in the first 12 minutes. Oh, one shot in the first 12 minutes in a must-win game. Fire Gulletson before the second period starts. Uh-oh. 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 A lot of confidence right now from the Wild fans. They're talking a lot of smack here as Quinn Hughes is doing his thing at the blue line. That's what he does. My goodness, he's a special character. He's going to pass it to Marcus Johansson, who sends it right back to him, who sends it back to Marcus Johansson. He gets the puck back. They're just playing pitch and catch with each other. Faber to back to Hughes. Oh, there's a shot that just squeaks wide, hit a body, and deflected wide of the net. Hughes and Faber, so dangerous. It's scary. Name tag says, I am mourning my Pens losing last night. Please, Stars, do not let me down. Name tags in the chat. Longtime SDP supporter. Name tags I know is a Dallas Stars fan. And yeah, it's been a rough, I wouldn't say it's a rough playoffs, but it's not looking good right now. Not looking good for you, name tags. But I'm rooting for you guys to try and, you know, at least get back in this game. Get some shot on goals. Get some shots on goal. Oh, there's a big hit behind the play there. And a shot by Foligno. Foligno delivers a hit, gets a shot on goal, and then we're going to have a penalty. Oh, no, injury they're saying on Rantanen. Oh, I don't like that call. I don't like that call at all. Foligno lays a big hit on Lindell. Then Foligno knocks over Rantanen as Rantanen's trying to make a play on the shot there that Foligno shoots. Rantanen goes down hard, but the puck was in the offensive zone for the Wild, so I think you got to give him a little bit more time. Plus, it looks like Rantanen's okay. He got up very quickly, and he skated over the bench. I think Rantanen's okay. It's okay. The refs are doing the right thing for safety. I think they could have given it a second. Rantanen looks like he's fine. Just looks like he took a hard fall. Super chat here from Freak that says Dallas Stars fans are already on the golf course. A lot of smack talk coming out of St. Paul. Damon Hunter says, dude, the Carlson meal was gnarly. Yes, we ate the Eric Carlson meal on SDP VIP a couple episodes back. Eric Carlson has the grossest pregame meal in the history of pregame meals, and we ate it. So if you just became an SDP VIP member, fun thing about SDP VIP, all of the past episodes are available to you. You can go back, binge it, watch every episode that you've missed. It's the extra bonus episodes of Steve Dangle podcast that we do every single week. You now have access to them. Go back and watch them. They're really good. They're great entertainment. I haven't mentioned this all stream long. We have a prize. We're giving away a prize here in the link in the description. Robert Malloy is modding this chat. Robert's probably upset at me for not mentioning it. We have a prize. We're giving away a Boston Bruins Stadium Series fleece. It's like a black fleece. It has the little Bruins logo here from the Stadium Series thing. It'll be yours. It's just yours for free. If you enter the contest, you win. We'll mail it out to you. You win it. Just hit the link in the description. If you're a resident of Canada, excluding Quebec, and you get to win it. Contest closes at the end of second intermission. We also did a interview with Michael Bublé. Robert is correct. That is a thing. We have an interview with Michael Bublé. Can you believe that? That's just under SDP VIP. Go search it. Go find it. We also played Family Feud one time. Go watch us play Family Feud. Me, Maddie, Steve, and Adam. We all played Family Feud. Mikko Rantanen is upset on the bench. Oh, looks like he's going to the back for a second. So maybe he's a little hurt than I'm letting on. I'm giving him credit for. The Knicks are up by 50 points. What the hell? Thank you for the update in the chat. On the Hawks, the post-Trae Young Hawks are like decent. I'm shocked that they're up by 50. That's crazy. It doesn't look like Dallas is going to get a shot on goal here with this offensive attempt, as Quinn Hughes is going to fish out that puck out of the corner and start up the ice for Minnesota, who have controlled that little black disc all game long in this first period. Quinn Hughes, he's been out there for so much time. Feels like every time I'm calling out a Minnesota Wild player with the puck, it's Quinn Hughes. Foligno, too, has been out there a whole bunch. A lot of trust in, I think, what is the fourth line, technically? I think it's technically the fourth line for Minnesota, the Foligno line. They've been out there a lot. Dallas here finally trying to look to set up some offense here. Yep, they send a long shot on goal. It's going to go wide and over the glass. Another stoppage as Bischel and Foligno get tied up there. Super chat here from Matty Cooper. Matty Cooper? Rooting for Minnie from Houston. Can't let Dallas win. Is there a Houston-Dallas rivalry? Do people from Houston not like Dallas? I thought you'd be like Texas bonding. I thought every hockey fan from Texas would just be like, yeah, that's my team. Because, like, you don't, no other place in Texas has a team. I'm learning something today. Oh, my goodness. We have a giant super chat here. Carl again with the super chat. I'm going to give a little air horns and confetti to Carl. There it is. 4 minutes remaining in the first period here. Carl says, if Colorado don't win the cup, Drew should be forced to eat the Carlson meal as punishment and our amusement. Drew already has the worst food takes of all time. If you're not aware of producer Drew, he's one half of Drew and Stu, our football show that runs during the football season. He's also the producer of LFR. He edits all the LFRs. He has the worst taste buds in the world. I genuinely think he would enjoy the Carlson meal. That's not punishment. Punishment for Drew, he was a big Avs fan, if you're not aware. Punishment for Drew would be like, eat a chicken sandwich. Like a delicious chicken sandwich or a great slice of pizza. Make him eat that. Make him eat regular, just good food, because he's not going to like it because he has terrible taste buds. He eats like a child. It's disgusting. Minnesota comes in here over the blue line. Matt Boldy gets knocked down, and Dallas is going to get the puck after that. Heiskanen is going to look for a pass, but I think he's going to miss everybody here, and that's going to be icing. Yes, it is. We regroup at the other end of the ice. Oh, Freak says, huge Houston and Dallas rivalry. Always has been. Rockets and Mavs, Astros and Rangers, Texans and Cowboys. I used to live in Houston. I hated everything Dallas. No way. No way. I didn't know you guys had that crosstown rivalry thing going. I guess not crosstown. Cross-state rivalry thing going. Minnesota wins this face-off, but it's going to pass Quinn Hughes, and he's got to retreat back to his own net to get this puck and pass it over to Matt Boldy, who has to turn around and pass it back to Quinn Hughes. Now we start the breakout for Minnesota. Joel Eriksson Ek is going to send it along the board. It's going to take an awkward bounce off the backboards there and bounce up to Ottinger, who doesn't come out to play it. Heiskanen plays it, and Dallas is going to come away with this puck. Robertson does turn it over there to Quinn Hughes, who feels like he's always out on the ice for the Wild. 0-0 still in the Jays game here. You guys talking about George Springer? Springer looking good. Springer currently 2 for 2 on this afternoon today. Just singled. If you need your Blue Jays updates in between the Minnesota-Dallas game, I think this is the only stream in the universe where you will get that. Welcome. Hit like on this stream if you are hanging out here tonight. Hit subscribe on the channel if you really want to support us. I appreciate every like and subscription. A little thing you can do that really helps the channel. Name Tag says thank you for the super chat, by the way. That's why Texans desperately want an expansion team in Houston. As an Austinite, I split the diff usually. So a Houston team would be awesome. Like, I genuinely think it'd be a great market for the NHL. Here's a shot from the point. Labushkin with the Bush bomb. And that's saved by Wallstead. And it goes all the way down the other end of the ice for icing there. Bush with the Bush bomb. You love to see it. Freak says also not Joel. L Erickson. How do you what? LL Erickson Eck? How am I supposed to read that? Somebody spell that out for me phonetically, and how am I supposed to read that? Freak with the super chat there. We're gonna face off, but regrouping. Linesman thought it wasn't fair or something. Linesman always get in the way. Oh, no. It was Wyatt Johnston, I think, needed a new stick. We don't get the puck drop. Johnston's just taking his sweet time. We going to resume this hockey or not? Oh, my goodness. The linesman fake dropped it. Still not dropping the puck. The crowd's getting restless. And there we go. Minnesota wins that face-off. And I think this is going to be icing again. No, it hits Ottinger. No icing. Kaprizov was going to chase that puck, and it hits Ottinger, so no icing there. Vladdy grounds out to end the inning. Springer's left stranded at first there. Jewel is how I'm supposed to say it. Jewel Erikssonek. Joel Erikssonek. The fake drop thing by the linesman is my least favorite thing in hockey. It's disgusting behavior. Who cares? Drop the puck. I don't care if your puck dropping was perfect or not. I don't care if you got to kick out a guy. Don't kick anybody out. Let the centerman take the faceoffs. Why are we bringing in the wingers to do this? You're ruining the game. All right. Enough yelling at the linesman because we are back in action as they did drop the puck. Faber has to go back and play this puck. He gets crushed a little along the boards by the Stars, and they're going to get possession in the neutral zone. Send it over the blue line. Oh, shot on goal. Good save by Wallstead. Able to stick out that pad on a sharp slap shot. And icing as Minnesota clears that puck and Petrovic goes back to touch it. We're going to get a quick TV timeout here, I think. We're going to commercial. They're just doing a little highlight pack. Yeah, they're just doing a highlight pack. No commercial there. We're a 1:09 left in the first period. They're showing all the moves done this period by Hughes and Faber, which has just been spectacular hockey to watch. Those guys and their skating. Quinn Hughes, considering the position he plays as a defenseman, might be the best skater in hockey. Because Connor McDavid is the fastest guy on the ice. Jack Eichel, underrated, I think is the most stable on his tripod. And if you're talking about speed, like just through the neutral zone, he's up there with McDavid with the puck. McDavid, I think, is just so easily able to generate speed. Like, out of nowhere, he's going full speed. It's just blistering. But if we're going with footwork, and we're going with dancing on ice, we're going with backwards crossovers, is anybody more pretty than Quinn Hughes? Is anybody prettier than Minnesota? When he's at the blue line, he's like, okay, let me just find a spot here on the ice to send something towards the net. Foligno got hit right into the boards. I think he's bleeding a little. The guys on the bench were not happy about that one. It was Nick Foligno. I know we got many Folignos here in Minnesota. They're trying to collect all of the Folignos. And they got them all. The 2. 15 seconds left here in this period. Looks like we're going to run out the clock. Minnesota just softly tosses that down the ice. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Okay. 1-0. Minnesota at the end of 1. Let me just scroll up here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. We have some business to take care of. Take care of. There's a contest we are running all game long. Actually, it's not all game long at all. Up until the end of the second period, we were running this contest. That's when it closes. You can win a Boston Bruins Stadium Series fleece. It's an all-black fleece. Has a little Boston Bruins logo on the front. It's from Fanatics. It's from their Authentic Pro collection. The Stadium Series logo, so it's a little unique. It can be yours. If you are a resident of Canada, excluding Quebec, fill out the contest entry form and enter to win, and we will send that out to you. That is the first piece of business. Second piece of business. Adam Wild is coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight for the Oilers Ducks stream. Stick around for him because he will also have prizing. And if you're ever curious about what stream is upcoming, if you didn't know this was upcoming, you could have checked sdpn.ca/schedule. That's where we have all of our streams that are upcoming on the SDPN channel. It's updated periodically whenever we have new streams coming up, like updated this one this morning or this afternoon or something, and then now it's there. And you can find it there, and you click there, and you can watch the stream. So if you're ever wondering about streams upcoming, Adam's coming tonight. Steve's going to be doing Game 6 for Montreal and maybe a Game 7. We'll see. We'll see if that reaches Game 7. Adam will be there for the Oilers and possibly the Game 7 for the Oilers as well. Third piece of business, hit like on this stream. I appreciate all of your likes. And so does our first member of the Dancing Animal Squad to make an appearance today. There is the Dancing Panda on the score bug. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Dancing Panda. Let's go. Round of applause. One thing I wanted to play for you all. I was perusing the Minnesota Wild TikTok, and Quinn Hughes makes an appearance. It is the most classic Quinn Hughes appearance in any video ever. The Minnesota Wild social team asked the team, I think it was before practice, what topic do they know more about than people would know? I'll just play the TikTok for you. It's really good. Here we go. Let's a little intermission entertainment from the Minnesota Wild TikTok account.
What's a topic you know more about than everyone else in the room?
Oh, topic? Trivia. I don't have an answer.
Did everybody see that? Did everybody see this man? Why was he so scared? Why was Quinn so scared of the camera and the question? No, we need to pause it right on Quinn. Hold on. Let's do this one more time.
Topic.
Hold on. I'm trying to pause it on Quinn.
Trivia. I don't have an answer.
Okay. Hold on. Let's go. What? He's like terrified. I don't have an answer. And then they got to move on. Classic Quinn Hughes. That's just standard Quinn Hughes face. I'll play the full thing for you. You can watch it. It's a good TikTok, and then I'll get you to our intermission content. Here's the full thing.
What's a topic you know more about than everyone else in the room?
Oh. Topic. Trivia. I don't have an answer.
Ooh. Probably Premier League soccer.
I want to say DJing.
What's a topic you know more about than anyone else in the locker room?
League of Legends.
No chance.
No way.
No. He's not good at League of Legends. I know more about myself.
I know more about Dota than he does.
No, I don't.
No way. Those guys play League of Legends against each other.
and Dota.
No,
I know.
no.
Bye.
That's fun.
Close.
What's a topic you know more about than anyone else in the room?
I don't want to do this with you right now. I don't want to do this with you right now.
Fun stuff from the Minnesota Wild TikTok as Dalton Varsho hits his 4th homer of the season. That's out to right field. That ball's gone. All right, I'm going to go watch the little Jays while you guys watch SDPN intermission content. I will be back for the second period of the Wild and Stars.
Well, I want to ask you the most boring question you're probably ever going to be asked, Jeff, but there's a reason why I want to ask it. I want to talk about some of the people you've worked with and how they've influenced your decision making. How did you learn to make great decisions for an organization? Because I think you're downplaying your interim general manager spot in Boston. And this, as a person who lives in Ontario, devastating for both Toronto and Ottawa, because that 1 year, for 3 months, you're the interim general manager, March 25th, 2006 to July 15th, excuse me. So at that draft, you get Phil Kessel, Milan Lucic, and Brad Marchand. Then you trade Andrew Raycroft to the Leafs for Tuukka Rask, a trade that still comes up all the time. And then on July 1st, you sign Zdeno Chara. That happened in less than 3 months. And that set up the Bruins for, they're still riding success after success from that summer. And I'm just curious, that was, it's 20 years ago. How did you, who had the greatest influence on your decision making then? And why did you make the moves that you made and that sort of thing? Because I always find that process so fascinating. Has it changed much since that time?
It hasn't really changed. If you think about the places I've been, we were in a rebuild, basically. We didn't write a letter in Boston, but we got Bergeron, right? We had Krejci. We had guys that were coming, that were good players. And they were young. And we had Joe Thornton and obviously made a trade. But really, that whole thing, it started with Mike O'Connell and a lot to do with, I've talked about this before, is a little bit with the New England Patriots had just won their first Super Bowl. They had gone from Drew Bledsoe to Tom Brady and gave the keys to Tom Brady, and it worked. And that was sort of a little bit of Mike's vision, was that this team is probably going to be led by Bergeron when we start to go to the next level. And so Joe became a trade, and, obviously the trade didn't work out, what we got back. But in the end, the vision was to turn it over to Patrice and then go back into free agency and spend some money, which eventually Mike got fired. But we spent it on Chara. Right. So that was the vision. The draft, obviously your scouts are good and working hard and had a great draft. You get lucky, you get Lucic in the second round, you get Brad Marchand, who's Hall of Famer, in the third round. So those are nice things to have on your resume. There's a lot of good things that have to fall your way, and good people that did their job. So, the trade, with, Tuukka, that was, they had given us a choice, of Pogge or Tuukka, and I'm happy that we picked the right one. So,
I'm not. Just so you know.
No, I know. It's different for everybody, but it was great for the Bruins. It was, good for my career probably, and maybe not as good for you as a fan of the Leafs that time, but those are how those things happen. But not a lot has changed. I mean, everybody's influenced me in some way. I've talked a lot about Harry and what a sharp guy he was and how smart he was. But Mike O'Connell, I say this too. I feel like he was in the perfect storm in a bad way, where very bright guy, really smart hockey guy. And I feel like if there was ever a second opportunity that came his way as a GM, he would have been really good. Because I agree. I do find like the first time you go through it, you're going to make mistakes. It's just the nature of the beast. And I think, in a lot of ways hopefully I'm, the fact that I'm in Montreal now with Kent, we help each other from not making as many mistakes as maybe you make as a single, first time guy. But you need good people around you. You need people doing their job, working, but nothing's really changed as far as evaluating the talent. It's just that there's so much more information out there. You're using more people. Analytics has come into things, but it's still your eyes and the information you're gathering from, people like Alan and the guys in the business that you're trying to make those decisions.
So you guys remember the first deal? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alan.
I remember vividly that time when you were interim GM in Boston, and that whole couple of weeks period leading up to free agency and into free agency, and I think that the work that you did in that short period of time has really set the Bruins up for the next decade plus of hockey, and I always thought you didn't get the credit you deserved for what you did in such a short period of time. I mean, you were running that show, you were out there, you'd never been GM before, and you swung some, huge deals, and you signed, a free agent that ended up changing the entire direction of the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, credit's a tough one, right? Because I spent from the time I started with the Bruins, the first couple of years, I'm like, I think I really want to be a GM here. I want this bad, and you're climbing, you're getting there, and then you kind of get there and you want that chance, and you're so close. And then all of a sudden you're not there anymore, and you're not even an assistant general manager. You're back down the ladder. So those are tough. Those are tough things, but, I feel good about the journey. I used to work with Jim Schoenfeld. He used to say every day, kid, think about it. If you were there, you couldn't be here. And that's if you think about it that way, it's true. But it's hard when you're going through it, because you want that, you want to be a general manager. You want to run a team. You want to show people you can do it. And, through the course of my career, I feel like, we've shown that we can do it and how we've done it and everything like that. But there's a little setbacks here and there, and they tap you on the shoulder and tell you you're out. You got to pick up the pieces and go forward. It's hard, right? So,
and you become, your first general manager job is the New York Rangers. Like, that is not a small job. You were the 11th in Ranger history, which was almost 100 years at that point. It is now surpassed 100 years.
Yeah.
What's the pressure like, replacing a legend in Glenn Sather and taking over the New York Rangers?
Yeah, pretty significant, right? So you're, you go back and you climb the ladder there and you get your opportunity. So you just, you don't want to screw it up. But It is, original 6 team in a huge market, a huge fan base there. So at those times we had pretty good teams. So, we were on our way. We had made the finals, lost to LA. We made the conference finals several times. So really at that point, it was, you're trying to figure out a way to finish this thing off and get a cup in New York, and wondering what that would be like. Right. So, and then, we came to the point with the letter, but, to be part of that history, to be the general manager of a team like that is certainly something I'll always be proud of. It's you can never take it away from you. So, life experience as a kid from Boston to end up in New York City and, walk around and think, wow, this is really happening, and walk into an iconic building like that as the general manager. It's pretty, those are proud moments.
One thing that isn't really discussed too often is the interplay between general manager or president and ownership. And you've only worked for original six teams. You've worked for Jeremy Jacobs, owner of the Bruins, James Dolan, owner of the Rangers, and Jeff Molson. What have you learned, and what can you tell us about, for lack of a better, more artistic term, managing up and working with ownership?
Three different personalities. I would say in Boston, Mr. Jacobs, at that point, I had just become interim GM, so I wasn't really dealing with him a ton, right? And Charlie, his son, was kind of coming on the scene, and had, been a significant person picking, Peter Chiarelli. So that was sort of his time of coming in there. So, but he was, it was a presence. He had, he'd been there a long time, and he felt a certain way about how he wanted things run. And, but, not so much as access. I didn't have as much access as maybe Mr. Dolan, as we went there. So, Jim was, he's actually a pretty smart guy. He's very opinionated, obviously. Pretty supportive. I remember, we traded Brass to Ottawa, people will laugh, but Jim was he didn't really care about money. He just wanted to win. And I remember calling him and said, listen, we have a trade. I'm going to trade Derek Brassard, who's a very popular player. And, he's got a pretty good agent, right? Big Al. And then, so I said, we're going to trade him. And I have a deal for him to trade for Mika Zibanejad, but I'm going to get a second round pick because they don't want to take the signing bonus, $2 million in 2 days. He's going to get one. And once we do, we're going to do that. And Jim was like, yeah, why are you calling me on that? $2 million. That was no big deal, right? The signing bonus. But you have other people that are, they might be more concerned about that stuff. So he was never really, it was never about money or anything like that. He's pretty driven to win, but he's opinionated. So, with Jeff, it's different. He's more of he's got 4 kids that, all play hockey. He's a similar age to me. I basically talk to him every day. It's an easy relationship to have. He doesn't, Montreal Canadiens is basically, it's his life, and, he's around the team. He spends a lot of time around us, and, it's just a different vibe. And, I call him he's if we make a trade, if we do anything, Jeff is more than happy. He's calling, he's reaching out to our players. He's making them comfortable. He's doing all that stuff. So it's just more, easy access and more of a weapon for us to use to try to make this such a good place for everybody to want to play. It's a family. His family is involved and around and part of it. And you can feel, and I think that's what sets the tone for what we're building now. Is we have a huge family atmosphere, and I think mostly comes from him.
Hold on.
Topic. Trivia.
We're seeing ghosts. We're seeing ghosts here, people. There's Quinn Hughes seeing ghosts. So what you just watched was the newest episode of Agent Provocateur. Montreal Canadiens president of hockey operations, Jeff Gorton, was on the episode. Middle of the playoffs, Montreal up 3-2 in their series. He was gracious enough to join Alan Walsh and Adam Wilde for an episode of AP. Go watch that full thing after all the hockey. Maybe plan to listen to it on your drive into work tomorrow, because it is an exceptional interview. You get to learn about the guy. It's not about the team right now. It's about the general manager agent relationship. It's about Jeff Gorton's journey through hockey. It's a great insight into the world if you were if you are interested in the behind-the-scenes aspect of hockey. Okay. Quinn Hughes is on the screen with Seeing Ghosts, and we are on the screen looking for a puck drop for the second period, which we do have. Let's get Quinn off the screen. There we go. We are underway in the second period. Minnesota is up 1-0 over the Dallas Stars. It was a Quinnesota goal that kicked off the scoring here tonight. It has been all Minnesota in that first period, but Dallas is still in it. They only trail by 1. The shot counter, 7-4 currently for Minnesota. Lot of shots towards the net for Minnesota, too, that did not hit the net. They're leading in that aspect as well. And that's how it's kind of been this series. At 5-on-5, the Wild have been the better team. But on special teams, Dallas has been exceptional. That's where they've been getting their goals. 5-on-5, though. 12-3, Minnesota's outscoring the Stars. We have a stop it here as Wallstead catches that puck into his glove. We're going to face off to the left of him. You can enter to win a Boston Bruins Stadium Series Authentic Pro Fleece, courtesy of Fanatics, in the link in the description. Fill out that form before the end of the second intermission, I should say, to enter to win that. Hit like on this stream if you are here hanging out. Hit like. And if you really like us, hit subscribe on the channel as well. No icing. Icing's waved off here as Minnesota sent that puck all the way down to the other end. Heiskanen went to go play that against Hartman, but Hartman hit him, and he went down a little there. Good hit by Hartman. Dallas is going to come away with this puck, though, and they're going to reach the red line, send it in. That's Jason Robertson with the dump. Little play off the boards. Doesn't quite work out for a shot for Dallas, but it was a nice attempt at a play. Looked like a little set piece there that Robertson was looking for off the boards. Kirill the Thrill can't find anyone down low to keep the puck in the zone as Quinn Hughes has to regroup here at center and enter over the blue line. He's going to lose it. And we're going to have Dallas losing the puck and not setting up. Mikko Rantanen in the first period got hit by a Foligno errant stick. Foligno was going for a shot. He came up for the shot, and then when Mikko Rantanen was coming by, he got hit by the stick in like the chest area. But that wasn't the injury he sustained. The injury he sustained, is it a delayed penalty? I thought it was a offside call. It is an offside call. There you go. It was a delayed offside. I was like, he has his hand up for a long time, but they just had a delayed offside for a long time. So when Mikko Rantanen got hit in the chest by the Foligno stick, he went down hard into the ice. And when he went down hard into the ice, his head bounced off the ice, and he went to the bench, and then shortly after going to the bench, he had to go to the back because the concussion spotter pulled him. Mikko Rantanen may have a concussion. He has not been back in the game yet. I don't see him, and I have not heard an update. So potential Rantanen done because concussion, or he comes back because he's cleared the concussion protocol. We are unsure at the moment. Oh, my timer's messed up? No, it should be good. There you go. Should be. Oh, no. Yeah, it is messed up. Now it says 19. You are correct. It is messed up. How did it go back to 19? It was just at 17. There you go. Ah. Did it. So we'll see if Rantanen returns. Let me know in the chat if you get an update from Rantanen on like Twitter or something. Bogosian's going to get called here for 2, right? Oh, no. Duchesne's going to get called. I didn't see what Duchesne did. Duchesne on Bogosian. Tripping? Oh. Oh, what? That's a weak call. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a weak call. I don't think Duchesne had too much to do with Bogosian going down. Oh, it's still broken. It keeps resetting. Minnesota power play here. Let's go. Yeah, it keeps doing this weird thing. Maybe I can't fully reset it until we reach intermission. All I can do is keep playing with it a little. We have a Minnesota Wild power play here. Kaprizov's going to get it up top. He's going to send it down low to Boldy. Boldy's going to shoot on Ottinger. Going to bounce off him and get that rebound. He's going to regroup, send it back to Kaprizov, who's dancing in the middle of the slot. Oh, not able to make a play there, as they are going to be able to clear the puck. The Dallas Stars are. They send it all the way down the other end of the ice. And the clocks keeps messing. There it is. It resets there. I'm going to have to do a full reset at intermission. We're going to have to deal with some clock issues here. Dallas clears the puck again. Wallsted's going to have to play this as the only guy coming back is the Stars player. 1 minute left. Halfway done this power play for Minnesota. Apologies for the clock issue. They're going to lose the zone here, the Wild are. They're going to play behind Wallstead. We're going to have a clean breakout here by the Wild. They only got 35 seconds left here. And no, not a clean pass at all over the blue line. Quinn Hughes goes back behind Wallstead. Sam Steele's playing him hard. Steele's going to come away with the puck shorthanded here. We're going to get a shot from Dallas. Yeah, that's Bischel on the shorthanded shot from the point. Blackwell's even going to get that rebound, send it back to his teammate. Dallas is going to kill this power play opportunity for Minnesota very easily. And we are all done with that power play. Back to full strength. Good kill there by Dallas. Marcus Johansson going around the back, one-handed, controlling that puck. He's got Faber there to his right. Oh, one-timer shot there by Tarasenko. Goes wide. Nick Foligno, cross ice, nobody there. Rising says Wild have not gotten many weak calls in their favor in this series. I don't have a good grasp of how the officiating has been. If anybody wants to fill me in on that, I'd love to know. Nick Foligno is going to get this puck, send it to the blue line, to McCarron, who's going to shoot this puck. And we're going to get a save by Jake Ottinger. May says, my Stars are making me sad. I hate the Stars, but I'm glad the puck didn't like on that PP that the Wild should not have had. Yeah, I'm glad the puck didn't go in there, because that was a weak call. Bogosian was kind of going down, just kind of got tapped. I don't like a call like that, especially at this stage of the playoffs, this stage of a series. It's not a great call. Not a great call at all. Let's try and reset this clock here. So I'm going to do a hard reset. We're going to go back to the first period. Go back to the second period. Oh, they're going to... 2 minutes. Okay, makeup call. The makeup call has been initiated here. Oh. Okay, we got weak calls by each side. Trennan has been called for interference there. Dallas is going to the power play. Dallas has been deadly on the power play. So we'll see if this will work for the Wild. Or for the Stars here. Sorry, I'm doing the clock at the same time as I'm trying to reset it. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe it'll work. Okay, let's see if it holds. We're going to get a face-off win by the Wild. They're going to ice the puck. Makeup calls happening. 5 straight games with a power play goal. Say that 10 times fast. Longest in Dallas Stars team history. The stat just on the board there. Miro Heiskanen trying to continue that streak. Passes it to, was that Robertson with the shot that is blocked, and the puck clears out the other side of the zone. Heiskanen's going to go back to play that. We will see what he can do with this rush here. Duchesne's going to take this puck from Heiskanen. Johnston's going to get this puck over to Robertson. Robertson's going to play along the boards, send it back to Heiskanen. Heiskanen's send it across the ice there. Heiskanen's going to get it back. Oh, there's a quick shot. 1-2. Wyatt Johnston. The non-concussed Mikko Rantanen out there finding Dallas Stars open in the slot. Oh, Rantanen stands right in front of Wallstead, knows where he wants to go. Sends it to Wyatt Johnston. Let's get Olay out here. We have a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1-1 on the board. There it is. We just talked about their record of 5 straight games with a power play goal. The Dallas Stars now make it 6 straight games with a power play goal. All of their goals have been from their top players. They have 0 depth scoring. Their 5-on-5 scoring hasn't even been that great. Only 3 5-on-5 goals this entire series. And yet, here they are. Here they are in this game, still hanging in because they are making the Wild pay when the Wild take penalties. Like that's been the story, right? If the Wild are going to take a penalty, the Dallas Stars are going to score. We have a moment here, so why don't we play another TikTok, this time from the Dallas Stars TikTok account. The biggest hockey ick that they have. Here we go, during this commercial break. And I will try and fix the clock issues.
When a guy holds his stick upside down on the ice. Knob up. That's terrible.
When your stick gets stuck in your stomach and you impale yourself on the wall. It hasn't happened for a couple of years. That kind of split.
It's going to happen tomorrow.
It doesn't feel good.
Robo and Dutchy for shooting too close in practice. Robo in general.
So let's just say like black tape on black sticks. Or no, black goalie sticks. Wait, what do I not like, Case? No, white sticks on black tape on white goalie sticks.
Offside challenge. It's part of the game. Shouldn't be allowed to challenge for offside.
The thing Faxi does when he ties his skate, like tie your skate like your laces around your ankle.
I think the ref should have maybe like a shot clock on how long they're allowed to review a play before it's deemed like not clear and obvious. What could it be? Over an hour-long practices.
Breaking sticks. When players don't clean up after themselves, they leave their laundry on the floor.
Always after practice.
There's a little action from the Dallas Stars on their biggest hockey icks. I didn't know Jason was so awkward. I didn't know he was such an awkward dude. I'm going to get the scoreboard up for you. Hopefully it's working this time. We've done a mini reset here. Ah, no, it's still doing the thing. Wallstead's going to cover that puck. Super chat here from Heather. Here I am just hoping this goes 7, but I think the Wild deserve it more. And then whoever scores the most goals deserves each game. That's what it comes down to. That's the beginning and end of it. I don't hate it, but like I don't think there's a deserve to win if you didn't win. You could look better, but the team that wins deserves to win. Heiskanen's gonna move through the slot and backhand this puck wide of the net. Rantanen out there. So concussion spotter pulled him, and he's back out on the ice because he has been cleared from the concussion protocol. Hard hit of the head to the ice. It was ugly. You never like seeing that, but I'm happy to see that he is okay. Harley here from the point sends one towards Wallstead. It's going to go wide. Nothing doing with that. A lot of pressure here from Dallas. Dallas has Minnesota hemmed in the zone. Oh, and finally that puck squirts out. Dallas is looking a little better at 5-on-5 here. Looks like that Wyatt Johnston goal put some wind under the sails of the Stars. They're looking a lot better in the second period. A lot better in the second half. Breakout pass from Minnesota doesn't work. Almost. Ryan Hartman sprung loose there for the Wild. Bunting, who was scratched, healthy scratched for a lot of this series, is now in this game. Now in this one for Dallas. Won that board battle, but Minnesota's going the other way here. Zuccarello along the boards. Kaprizov gets a little check there. Minnesota is going to win that. Back up to the point. That's Jeff Petrie with the shot that goes wide. And that puck is going to go out of the zone there. Apologies. I will do the most Canadian thing and continue to apologize for the clock troubles that we are having. I will solve it. I will solve it at intermission. We will have a proper clock for the third. But for now, we power on through. A lot of zone time, but nothing dangerous. That is true. It was great defense by the Wild to not allow anything too high danger, but it is what you want to see. You know, that's what you want to see if you're a Stars fan. You want to see some offensive zone pressure, and that's what they got. James, renewing their SDP VIP membership, says, Canada versus Sweden, U18 on right now, tied in the third. Tied at what? Let me know. And 5 gifted memberships to the chat by Diane. Thank you, Diane. Diane's always out here supporting SDP. SDPN, I should say. Wallstead's going to cover that one. Jeff Petrie getting into it there. Bork's in it. Little tussle there. If you received a SDP VIP membership from Diane, say thank you. Say thank you. Ooh, did we fix the clock? Did that do it? I'm just going to leave it to run. I'll reset it after. But it looks to be running down. I'm just... Oh, no! Dang it. What is it going to say now? Is it going to do it again? Don't do it again. Maybe that time? Maybe that time. Jays are losing 2-1 right now in the top of the 6th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at the plate. Gosman's on the mound today. Allowed those 2 runs. Only 1 strikeout. Strikeout king Kevin Gosman only has 1 strikeout so far in this game. Through those 5 innings pitched. No. 4 innings pitched. No, top of the 6th. 5 innings pitched. My bad. 5 innings pitched. I want to see a little bit more. He gave up a giant home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. That was Ryan Jeffers with that home run to left center. 2-run home run. That's how the Jays are trailing right now. Give Kevin Gausman run support. You mother feathers, says Robert. The Jays haven't been good at that this year. They're up against the Twins. A lot of Minnesota sports action tonight. We got Minnesota on the hockey game. We got Minnesota on the baseball game. It's all about St. Paul tonight. Marc-Andre Fleury is there in Minnesota, got the crowd hyped pregame, which was fantastic to see. You always love a little Marc-Andre Fleury action. Dallas is going to win that face-off, and they're going to take a shot on Wallstead, and that shot is going to be saved, and we're going to get another face-off. Colt says, thoughts on Red Sox management drama recently? I'm always a fan of other AL East teams that are chaos. They've been chaos for a while now. The way they handled that situation last year where they're like, hey, we're going to bring you in, and then now you got to learn a whole new position, and then we're going to trade you. Like, it seems like they wanted to fire Alex Cora for a while because it's a bit of a mess in Boston. And that should have been done this offseason. But I don't know if that's Alex Cora's fault or if it's like from top down fault. If you got to blame the GM and everything in between, you know? Like, you never know if the mismanagement starts at the top or if it actually is coming bottom up. Love to know. Ownership is terrible too. John Henry sucks. Here's a scramble in the middle of the slot. Nobody can come away with that puck. Wyatt Johnston doesn't get it. Minnesota's going to get it and clear that puck. I think I figured out the clock issues. I think we're good. I didn't need intermission. I just needed a second to tinker with some settings. Heiskanen's going to go back. Minnesota's changing. Might be an opportunity here for Dallas. Petrie comes up. We're going the other way now with Kaprizov. Drop. Shot. Goes wide. Oh, great drop pass there by Kaprizov. Is that Hartman with the slapper that goes wide? We're going to have puck over the glass? No. Ref is saying that it was touch there. That puck is touch. No puck over the glass. Thomas Harley saw Minnesota changing, and he jumps up in the rush looking for a hole, and he found some white ice with no green bodies. Oh, that was a great save by Ottinger on that last shot after that nice Kaprizov pass. Forget that shot going wide. That's a great save. Both goalies playing well tonight. Limited chances offensively for each team, but when they have been there, the goalies have been strong. I don't think either of those are on the goaltender. On either of those goals, you know? Those are just nice, pretty plays. Quinn Hughes, can't blame him. That power play goal, that's great find by Rantanen to Johnston, who was open. That's a defensive lapse. Goalie's great tonight. Bischel's coming up with speed. Entering the zone, dumping it in. Middleton there trying to get this puck for the Wild. They are able to get this. Hit the red line. Over the blue line. Are they going to set up a little offensive? Oh, we're going to have a penalty? No? Yeah? Delayed call here. That's going to be a call on the Stars. Holding I believe on Radek Faxa. Uh-oh. Alan Walsh client to the box. Here we go. Are they showing the... Where's the call? Oh, yeah. He got in the way. The refs are calling things tonight. They're not letting them play. This isn't a game 6 whistle. They're not letting them play right now. This is if you're doing something out there that looks a little chippy, you're getting in the way. Faxa doing a little underhanded, I'm going to step in your way while you're trying to head up ice. Linesman or ref sees it, makes the call. They're not letting these guys play through ticky-tacky things. And if that's the standard, that's the standard. You can't be doing that, Faxa, if that's the standard. I don't blame the refs for calling that because they clearly made the stance that they will call that tonight. Hughes here at the top, passes it down to Kaprizov, back to Hughes up top. Kaprizov rotates, gets it, sends it down to Boldy, who's open, shoots it wide. Or saved by Ottinger. I think that hit the blocker. Back up top to Kaprizov. Back down low to Boldy. To Kaprizov. They're working it around. Quinn Hughes. Shot blocked. Big block there by the Stars. Puck is cleared out. And the Wild got to reset now. Quinn Hughes is going to do his thing. Back to Quinn Hughes. Zuccarello now looking for a shot. Zuccarello shoots it wide. Out of play. We're going to have a stop here. 6:02. Favorite impression that Steve does? From Goofy Goober with the super chat. Thank you, Goofy Goober, for the super chat. I loved when... Oh, that puck hit the post. The Zuccarello shot that Ottinger saved goes off his shoulder, then off the outside of the post. I loved when Steve in his LFRs put on the Kyle Dubas glasses. When Steve did his Kyle Dubas glasses bits, hilarious. Hilarious stuff. Also, how can I not also say John Tavares? John Tavares, Steve doing JT is 10 out of 10 funny every time. Because it's so good and it's so accurate. It's like so overdone deadpan. But then you watch John Tavares in real life, and you're like, oh, yeah, he is just that. Steve does a spot on JT. My vote is JT. Thank you for the question. That's a great question. Minnesota here, 35 seconds left on this power play opportunity, and the Stars are going to ice this puck and kill more of that time. They only have 25 seconds left with Faber picking up speed, up the ice, drop pass, coming through, over the line, sends it down, sends it back up. Are you going to get a shot on goal here? Faber elects not to shoot. Jared Spurgeon looking around. He's not going to do anything. There he goes. He shoots that puck. Doesn't do anything with it as it goes wide. Nothing doing on that power play opportunity for the Minnesota Wild. Nothing doing. They gave you a chance there, Minnesota. They let you back in, and you didn't take an opportunity you had there. You're not going to get many of those. There's Bogosian. Middleton can't hit anybody in front. His shot goes wide. All right, little bit of pressure here from the Wild. Bogosian slapper blocked. Shot it right at Rantanen's foot. Easy block. Foligno. Oh, we are going to have a stop here as the net is off, and Bischel and Foligno are going at it. They are going out at it. Oh, Ken Danico. Steve's Ken Danico impression is really good. That's a really good one. Yeah. No, that's a great call. We have a contest going on right now. You can win a Fanatics Authentic Pro Boston Bruins Stadium Series fleece just by filling out the link in the description. You fill it out. If you're a resident of Canada, excluding Quebec, you are eligible to win. That is not our choice. Talk to the law about who we can give out prizes to in this instance. So fill that out. Contest closes at the end of the second intermission. The Jays are now down 3-1. That's another run there for the Minnesota Twins. We're watching both Minnesota games tonight. It's an all Minnesota stream tonight. I'm trying to see the Byron Buxton homer there. Left center. Byron Buxton, homer into left center off Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman, still in the game. Started tonight for the Jays. 2 Ks on the night, 2 walks, and 2 home runs. His line so far. Jays have won a couple series in a row. They have looked good. That series against the Red Sox was awesome. Loved what I saw out of that series. Having Trey back was great. Getting Springer back was fantastic. Springer's been on fire since he's come back. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Started off 2 for 2 and then struck out. The Springer's been great. We're going to have puck drop here. We are back from commercial break. A little Blue Jays action on the second screen. If you've been to if you watch any of my streams, you know. We got the second stream going always. If there's a Jays game on, we will keep our eye on it. Get an icing call here. Dallas Stars ice it. Gonna have a face-off back where we were. Timberwolves don't play tonight. I don't think so. Do they play tonight? Yeah, T-Wolves game on too? We got to stream that for our all Minnesota night tonight. We got to stream the T-Wolves game. Michael Bunting with a shot. There's going to be a rebound. Bork's going to pick it up. It's going to go in the back of the net. That is a goal for the Dallas Stars. That is a terrific play by Bork to go to the net. That's what you're taught to do. He does it expertly after Michael Bunting, who's in this series for the first time after being healthy scratched. A trade deadline acquisition by the Dallas Stars, was not trusted in this series up until now. But look at him come into play right there. Sending a shot off Wallstead that bounces off the outside of the boards, comes around the back, and Maverick Bork is right there for his first career playoff goal. First career playoff goal for Maverick Bork. That deserves a round of applause for sure. 2-1 is the score for Dallas. I didn't hear no bell. A lot of Minnesota fans counting their second round appearance before it's been all said and done. Dallas is not going out quietly. That is the first goal in this series not from their top 5 scorers. Can you believe that? All of their offense has come from their top 5 scorers, and finally they get one. And it's Maverick Bork who breaks that streak. Assisted by Steve Dangle, cover your ears. The 2 assists on the Maverick Bork goal. Michael Bunting and Ilya Lyubushkin. How Leafs is that? That is beautiful. Hughes setting the shot from the point. There's going to be a rebound. It's going to be picked up by Tarasenko. And Tarasenko is going to backhand this while falling to the ground into the empty net. Minnesota did not trail for long. Oh, baby, do we have a hockey game. Quinn Hughes factors in on another one. This time, just like with the Michael Bunting shot, it's a rebound that the goalie overplays. Can't find it, but instead of Maverick Bork being on the rebound, it's Vladimir Tarasenko getting in on the rebound. And he fires it into the empty net. It is 2-2. We are all tied. Once again. My goodness! Austin Walker with the super chat that says, I feel bad whoever wins this series going up against a well-rested Avalanche team. Oh, yeah. Like, there's no sympathy for, like, both of these teams just are absolutely screwed with the way this thing is going to break out. Like, for that division, you're going to have to go through the Wild and Stars, and then the Avalanche, and then in the Western Conference Final, it's going to be a team that reached the Western Conference Final, which is going to be a good team. 3 just murderers rows for these 3 teams in the Central. It's awful if you're in the Central. Just terrible stuff. And you got the Pacific where it's like, what is that meme? Hydrogen bomb, coughing baby or something? What is it? I don't know. Steve says it sometimes. Vladimir Tarasenko's first of the playoffs. Assists on that one are Trennan and Quinn Hughes, who's back out there now and has the puck. So with Faber. Zuccarello's got it. The Jays are down 4-1. Yeah, Gosman's out. Quinn Hughes getting pinned against the wall there. They're going to hold the zone, though. Ryan Hartman's going to get it. He's going to pass it to Quinn Hughes, who's going to do his Quinn Hughes thing. Go around the back, send it to Faber. Shot blocked. Disappointed at that block shot. He looked to the sky for a moment, and they're going to have to regroup back at their own end. Good pressure there, but nothing doing, really. Wild fans are going crazy at the Gran Turismo Casino Center. Whatever they changed the name to. They got the new worst name in sports. I'm sorry. If you're from St. Paul and you like the name of your arena, I don't. I'm not a big fan of the Gran Turismo Casino and Resort Center. Whatever the hell you guys call it. Quinn Hughes, they're showing the replay of him looking for that play. Jays can't hit tonight. That is the case of this season. Quinn Hughes with the most points by a Wild defenseman in a single postseason series in history. Already setting records. Didn't he set like the all-time points record for the Wild for a defenseman in a Wild season? Like, and he only played there like half the season. Quinn Hughes already played 1932. This is a Quinn Hughes show. I'm sorry. A lot of Quinn Hughes stuff. There are other players on the ice. We will talk about them as well. But how can you not? How can you not point out Minnesota? Minnesota is going to dump this puck in. Oh, Foligno. Hard hit there to Harley along the boards. Harley goes down, but he pops back up. He is good. Harley's going to take this puck to center ice. Sends it over to Steele. Steele down below. Rexkovian now going to the net. Everybody's jamming at the puck. It's going to be covered by Wallstead. Good little play there by Rexkovian. Yeah, can we call it XL Energy? Can we still call it XL Energy? But, like, I don't care about the corporate sponsor of it all. You know, it's just come up with a better name, people. Why do we have to call it Gran Turismo Resort and Casino? Ridiculous. I will call it the X. I will be stubborn. Okay? I will be a stick in the mud. I will be stuck in my ways, and I'm calling it the X. Because I care about bad names of arenas. 5 seconds left. Waiting out the time here for this end of the period. There it is. Horn has been called. Horn has been played. That's the end of the period. 2-2. We head to the third. Boom. 2-2, we head to the third. What a great second period that was. What a great 2 periods this has been. What a great series this has been. It's so much back and forth. Like that first game where Minnesota just dominated. And then you got the second game, which was Dallas won game 2. Was it I don't think that was a convincing win by Dallas, but it was a good win. Then last game, the Minnesota win to go up 3-2. That was a pretty good win. That was a pretty good win of like, hey, we know what we got at 5-on-5. That was an impressive one. And then this game just back and forth, where like at times Dallas has looked pretty strong. You know, Minnesota came out in that first period, looked like the better team, and then Dallas able to capitalize on that power play like they've been doing all series. They're able to get that Maverick Bort goal, finally a depth goal at 5-on-5. Like that's what they've been needing. But then you get the goal back the other way where Tarasenko fires that rebound into the empty net. So it's been really good. We got a good one on our hands here. Maybe we get like 3 OTs tonight. Maybe we get 6 OTs. Who knows? Piece of business we need to do before we head to intermission content. You have the opportunity to win a Boston Bruins Stadium Series Authentic Pro Fanatics fleece. If you fill out the link in the description before the end of the second intermission. If you want a prize, it's yours. All you got to do is fill that out. Only residents of Canada, excluding Quebec, can win the prize, just so you know. Adam Wild is coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern to stream Edmonton-Anaheim, game number 6. Anaheim is looking to win the series, and the Edmonton Oilers are looking to force game number 7. They have been really good at just by the skin of their teeth fighting back in every single series where they've trailed the last couple of years. The Edmonton Oilers have. Let's see if they can do it once again. Sometimes you can only do it so many times and you can't keep doing it, but they seem to keep playing this way, so we'll see if they can keep winning this way. Remember that Kings series they had last year in the first round, the one where Jim Hiller cost his team the series by calling that challenge? They were down 2-0 in that series. And then they were down. Yeah, they were down. So they were down 2-0 and then 2-1. And that 2-1 game was the game where they go to overtime after that challenge. The Kings had them on the ropes. And they let them back in. They let them back into that game. They let them back into the series with that overtime loss. And then, boom. Edmonton goes on to win the next few games and win their way all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So we'll see if tonight Edmonton gets back into the series by forcing a Game 7, and Anaheim has the fate of these other teams that just keep letting Edmonton back into these things. Let me know who you got tonight. No other game tonight for hockey. Those are the only two on the schedule. Tomorrow will be Lightning Habs. Steve Dangle will be streaming that, as he always does, for that series. That'll be at, I think it's a 7:30 puck drop. That'll be fun. Jays, because this is an all Minnesota stream tonight. And I'm not rooting for Minnesota, especially not in the Jays game. But we do have a lot of Minnesota content tonight. Jer says, my favorite players from Canada, Pepe Lemieux, Anson Carded, and Steve Ruchin. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see if the Timberwolves play tonight. We have a wild score, just looking across pro sports. You guys were calling this out earlier in the chat, I believe. There's a ridiculous NBA game going on. Oh, the T-Wolves do play tonight. Yo, the T-Wolves play the Nuggets. It's triple Minnesota sports night. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Wild score in the NBA. The New York Knicks are up 130-77 on the Atlanta Hawks. What? 133-77. Did they just hit a three? How? How is that happening in an NBA playoff game? The odds right now, you can take the Knicks minus 53.5 points or the Hawks plus 53.5 points at even odds to win. You're getting Hawks plus 53.5 points. If you want to bet them to win the game, live bet them right now. All right, I'm going to play some intermission content for you. It is the Chris Johnston Show, giving you the latest updates on the Leafs GM search. This is very important content. It is what's going to happen with the Toronto Maple Leafs new GM situation. And at the end of this, when the second intermission ends, contest closes. So enter the contest in the description. Hit like on this stream. I'll be back right after this. Leafs GM news.
I need another update on the Toronto Maple Leafs GM head of hockey operations search. And what's the latest on Matt Sundin? And is Ty Domi involved in this somehow? Like, can we make sense of the news that's been going on the last couple of days? Also, shout out to you and Jonas Siegel and James Myrtle for your reporting, which you can find on The Athletic on the latest.
Yeah, I think, where we're at is nothing at this stage is done, but, the phase of the search with the interviews and all that has wrapped up, and a recommendation, I think, has been brought forward to ownership on what this should look like. And Elliot Friedman was first on this as well. We should be clear, but John Chayka and Matt Sundin appear to be the choice of Keith Pelly and the search committee. And now it's down to finalizing contracts and seeing, whatever diligence ownership has to do. And so I don't want to get too far ahead because, with a company like MLSE right now and ownership in transition, things aren't done. It's not as though, contracts have been signed and executed and we're just waiting for an announcement. But, it does seem that is the kind of where we've landed at the end of what we'll call the search. As for Ty Domi, he has pretty clear ties to the Leafs, pretty clear ties to Matt Sundin, one of his closest friends during his playing days and beyond. And, he also has ties to John Chayka and is believed to be one of the people that have been a bit of a sounding board, I think, through this. I don't want to overstate that. It's not as though he's making the call here. And obviously there's a pretty wide range of candidates that we've discussed over the last number of weeks that have been interviewed by the Leafs that don't have connections to Ty. So I think it's a case where, this is a far more broad search than the Leafs did 3 years ago when Brad Treliving was brought in to replace Kyle Dubas. They spoke to a number of AGMs around the league. This time around, Mike Gillis, who we've mentioned, Gary Roberts was just, had a discussion with the front office. So I think that they're taking more of a range of opinions. Obviously, have Neil Glassberg there, who's been helping out on the search end of things. So there's far more, I guess, voices and people involved. Ultimately, it's Keith Pelly's decision. Having spoken to someone who went through an in-person interview, he said that basically 2/3 or more of the questions that happened in his interview came from Keith Pelly. He was very prepared and on top of things. And so, as much as there's all these other figures that we can mention that are being drawn on, I think for some ideas, some expertise, some outside opinions, ultimately when this is said and done, we will judge how this works and how this was conducted. I think it falls on Keith Pelly's plate. And, it does seem as though he's put a lot of time and energy into this since letting Treliving go about a month ago.
I know we've gone through, or at least we've mentioned some different candidates. And with respect to Scott White and Ryan Gold, I'm very intrigued about John Chayka, who once upon a time was a general manager in the National Hockey League. He's been away for a bit of time, and to see his name resurface has been very intriguing. What can you say about his chances for this role compared to some of the other candidates that have been named?
Well, he's emerged as the front runner, right? And so, what can I say? He's a unique character. Had a very unique career. He's still only 36 years old. So, if you're talking about the Leafs hiring a 36-year-old, I know obviously Kyle Dubas got hired at a young age, but at that time he was within the organization and was promoted. This is bringing in someone who's pretty young from the outside, but has the experience you mentioned, was part of, forming the company's athletes and has some of the data background there. And quite frankly, worked in very difficult environment in Arizona. We know that team is now playing playoff games in Utah and because of the previous ownership group with the Morello family did not prove very beneficial to the league. And so, I think if we look back on John's time with the Coyotes, there's probably a steep learning curve he had to go through, becoming a general manager in his 20s, having a roster of players, some of whom were older than him, and, wasn't probably in the best environment, but also hasn't been in the game since he left that organization in a formal way anyway. And so it's a definitely, I think, is a different sort of choice. There's an element of the unknown. Perhaps you could almost say an outside the box hire, although that, it is someone who's obviously well known in the hockey world still, even though he's been kind of keeping a low profile in the last 5 years or so. But, it's, if everything kind of proceeds forward as we think, there's a lot to unpack there. And, even just in terms of, John Chayka and Matt Sundin, how will that dynamic work together? Who reports to whom? Who has final say? All that isn't entirely clear to me at this point in time. And I think those are important questions. And Keith Pelly mentioned when he had the press conference after Treliving's firing, just the importance of structure within the organization, but we don't yet really know exactly what the structure of this will be. I don't have to stretch though. I have to say to imagine John Chayka, having a more successful second stint as an NHL GM than his first one, especially with an organization that won't be cutting corners or pinching pennies. But this is not what I would call a PR hire either if it goes through. This isn't going and getting someone established with Stanley Cups on their resume with, a long track record behind them. Sometimes teams do that obviously to bring in that person's experience, but also because it might calm the waters. It doesn't guarantee success. I think back of, the Canucks brought in Jim Rutherford, a couple of years ago, and that organization, not that it's all on Jim's show, but it hasn't gone in a positive direction. So, just bringing in someone with a big name and with multiple Stanley Cups on the resume doesn't mean you're going to go win one. And so it's going to be interesting. Basically, it's going to be, I don't really, don't know John super well. Our paths did cross during his time in Arizona, but, I don't have a lot personally to draw on to figure out how this is going to work. And, the bigger question is too, as much as we focus on the who's and the people is, really the success is going to be having a strong off season right now. And, the calendar's just on the verge of going to May. There's some big decisions that need to be made in Toronto. And so, it seems like there's still going to take some time for this to be finalized. I think at the ownership level that they're still working through, what this will be. And then, ultimately the minute let's say this is what gets put in place, all the questions are, what are you doing with Matthews? Are you making a coaching change? How are you rebuilding the blue line? All the things that will lead to more success on the ice next season, which is ultimately what this is all about.
Do you think we'll get any closer to resolutions on this by Tuesday, which is the date of the draft lottery for this year?
I can't rule it out. I was told not to expect anything this week, but maybe early next week. But as I said, this is MLSE is a big company, and it's not as simple as one single owner who can do one contract with one person. I think that there's definitely a process that's playing out. And so it wouldn't surprise me if it went beyond Tuesday. And look, other than maybe the symbolism of having the person on the camera when the lottery balls fall, and especially if they fell in a positive way for the Leafs, you would have that person's reaction. I don't think there's no reason to rush a decision or rush any contracts through, for Tuesday. I mean, teams just have to send one representative to sit in front of a Zoom camera to watch the balls fall and react if your team wins. So it doesn't require any expertise or anything like that. Maybe Toronto can find some good luck charm out there. I don't know what that might be, but it's going to be fascinating. We haven't really focused on that, but they ended up with the 5th worst odds or highest odds of winning number 1. So if any teams jump from behind them, it would knock them into the 6th pick. And Boston would be making that selection. So it's, it kind of twirls on a knife's edge in terms of the Leafs' probability of, securing a top 5 pick and being able to keep it. And it doesn't set up as a great moment. I mean, it could go the other way. They could win the draft, and we're talking about it. It's a lottery by definition. It's kind of anything could happen, but it's going to be an interesting night for Leafs fans and fans of any teams that miss the playoffs.
Very curious. You mentioned the fact that standing in for lottery balls to drop is not an exhaustive process. It would be fun if the Leafs sent a celebrity in place of someone in management, get a super fan like Will Arnett or somebody just to hang out.
Yeah, or an alumni. I mean, we talked about alumni a bit, but I think it was Ken Morrow that was there for the Islanders last year when they won the pick for Matthew Schaefer, so the alumni of their team. I think that's fun too. I haven't asked anyone, so I don't know what they're thinking on that regard, but it definitely doesn't need to be your GM. Some teams do have their GM or their president out front for it, but I think it's literally just a representative of the organization. So it could be Wendell Clark or something like that too.
Or Ty Doby if he wants to. I mean, he's busy, but
I don't know. He's got a lot going on, Ty. He's a connector, but it's funny though. There's been so much, obviously we've hacked around the search for a while, but I can't emphasize enough. I mean, it's really about the action that happens after that. We can, they obviously have to find the right people, and, be fascinating to see how involved Matt Sundin is in this. It seems like he's going to get kind of a VP title. So, he's going to have, some power. This isn't just a figurehead type of situation. But it's a pretty brand new chapter. If everything goes through as it seems, and, what happens next with the Matthews and Nylanders of the world will be interesting. I know that in terms of the interviews, that there's been a view expressed from, in those interviews that it's a priority to keep those players. But I think they also have to get some work done, especially when it comes to, Austin Matthews, who's, coming more towards the end of his contract, to see what the best path forward is if they can get this team back to being a playoff team next year.
Oh, nailed it. Nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. Exactly as that clip ends, we have puck drop, and we are back live at the X in St. Paul, Minnesota. We are Minnesota sports maxing tonight. The T-Wolves in English. The T-Wolves are up against the Denver Nuggets tonight. I got to get a scoreboard up on the screen for you. There it is. There it is. We have the T-Wolves up against the Denver Nuggets. That ball is getting tipped off momentarily. The Minnesota Twins are beating my Toronto Blue Jays right now 4-1. Uh-oh, is that it? Is he going to be injured? Uh-oh, Eriksson Ek is injured on that play. Oh, no. That's going to be huge. It does not look good for Joel Eriksson Ek. He is limping to the back. Uh-oh. That's a huge loss for the Wild. Ugh. Shot here at the top. Faber gets it. Over to Quinn Hughes. Down to Kaprizov. Lifted to center ice by the Stars to get it out there. As soon as we got an update on Joel Eriksson Ek, please drop it in the chat, because that's going to be an important one. Maverick Bourque, the goal scorer, shoots it on Wallstead, who's going to make this save. Goal scorer of goal number 2 for the Dallas Stars. Ow! They're showing the replay of Joel Eriksson Ek going into the boards. I assume he just hit his leg there, ankle there, foot there, some lower body injury into the boards there as he's fallen. Slips, falls. Ah, you hate to see that. You hate to see that for Minnesota. Already not, like, you don't think about their forward group as their biggest strength, like their back end and their goaltending. Out of the 3 groups, the forward group is probably the least out of the 3 if you're ranking them. So to lose an important piece like Ek out of that, that's huge. But that's the NHL playoffs. You keep playing the games. Guys get injured, you keep playing the games. That's how it goes. Dallas has the puck behind their own net. They're going to look to make a move here. They're holding it. There's a breakout pass. You're going to tip this. It's going to go in. Quinn Hughes is going to go after it. Sam Steele's going to win that battle. Get it to a teammate, but going to have a turnover there. And Minnesota's going to ice this puck. Yes, they are, as Bichelle is the first one to touch it. The Leafs GM situation sounds like it's almost guaranteed it's John Chayka and Matt Sundin. I'm very, very worried about that. Matt Sundin, who has no experience running a hockey team, and over the last, 15 years of his life has been kind of a non-factor in hockey. He lives in Sweden and has no ties to the NHL right now, and is now just coming into the game as president of the Leafs, which is crazy. That's a crazy entry-level job. You know what I mean? And John Chayka, who was disgraced as Coyotes GM, got suspended for a legal mess, and now after 6 years out of the game is coming back as GM of the Leafs. Whew. That is quite the decision-making by Keith Pelly. Here's Maverick Bourque with another shot. Maverick Bourque's been all over the ice tonight. Saved by Wallstead. Boldy here coming in. Looking to make a play. Miro Heiskanen, though, pushing him off the puck. Great D by Heiskanen. Harley comes in to help. Harley's trying to fish the puck as Boldy lies on it. And we're going to get a face-off as Boldy lies flat on the puck. Nothing doing there with the Boldy Heiskanen play. Boldy was just going down, trying to play that puck. Slips, doesn't have his edges. Face-off, though, funnily comes outside of the zone because they're like, Boldy, you're lying on the puck. You can't just lie on the puck there. We're calling you for that. So the face-off is going outside of the Minnesota zone, which is fun. Thank you, Jer, for renewing your SDP VIP membership and your comment that says Steve Dangle is great. I agree. We all agree. Steve Dangle, everybody. Quinn Hughes on the ice. Played over 20 minutes so far. Been everywhere today. Looks for that tip. Can't get it towards the net. Zuccarello can't complete the tip shot after a nice pass from Quinn Hughes. Zuccarello gets this puck near the blue line, coming in. Rantanen goes down again. Looks to be okay. Oh, that's a bad play by Rantanen. That whole thing was ugly. I thought the Wild had touched the puck there. Zuccarello hits Rantanen cleanly. Rantanen falls on his butt, and he gets up and he cross-checks Zuccarello in the face. What are you doing? That is a complete lapse in judgment by a veteran. You have to know better. Wow. What a boneheaded move. Boldy here with the shot. Goalie is pulled. Wallsted's on the bench. Extra attacker is on. Minnesota's still playing with the puck with the extra man out. Dallas hasn't touched it yet. What a brutal play by Rantanen. And there, Dallas is finally going to touch this puck at 14:42 of the third period. Mikko Rantanen being a giant baby. He loses an edge, goes down. They're showing the replay now. Is sitting on his rear end, gets up, and just goes and cross-checks the first guy he sees. I said it was Zuccarello who he cross-checks. He actually cross-checks Kaprizov for no reason. It wasn't even Kaprizov who he was tangled up with. It was Zuccarello who he was tangled up with, and Kaprizov just runs by him, and Rantanen cross-checks him in the face for no reason. Oh my goodness. Moose, no. No, Moose, no. Hartman in the face-off circle now. Wild on the power play. You know what time it is. This is game on the line kind of stuff. Quinn Hughes at the point. Slap pass. Nothing doing on that one. Kaprizov sent it down low, but they couldn't get it towards the net. They reset with Hughes at the top over to Kaprizov. Kaprizov gets it back, sends it down low. Cannot get the tip shot there. Dallas clears it all the way to Wallstead, who gives it to Quinn Hughes, who starts the breakout for the Wild. He regroups, gets it to Boldy, to Zuccarello. Over to Zuccarello in the slot. After a couple passes, nothing doing there. Quinn Hughes, Minnesota with the puck at the line. Finds Zuccarello at the top of the dot. Zuccarello sends it down low to Boldy. Boldy trying to make something work, but getting pressured by Bischel. Sam Steele, excuse me. Sam Steele's able to force that puck out of the zone. Minnesota has to regroup at center ice. They come in over the red line. Nothing doing at the red line as they lose the puck at the blue line. Dallas coming the other way, shorthanded. All alone, nothing doing there. But we're going to have a penalty once again. Oh, no. Faxa is going to draw a call on Ryan Hartman. A slashing call. And after a moment where Minnesota could have made this game theirs, they take a penalty while on the power play. That's Ryan Hartman slashing on Radek Faxa. Opportunity for Minnesota is done. And in 40 seconds, we're going to get a power play for the Dallas Stars, who have been deadly on the power play. Thank you, Giggling Cat, for the super chat emoji. Here's Quinn Hughes charging the zone. Oh my goodness, that came out of nowhere. Quinn Hughes almost working his way right to the front of the net with a nice backhand to forehand. Couldn't quite do it. Thank you, SLS98, for the super chat. Joe Biden voice. Minnesota. Joe Biden. That's funny stuff. Okay, Dallas is going to go on the power play here, but Minnesota has the puck, so they're going to try and just rag this puck, do a little with it, kill some time. They send it all the way down. They do eventually ice it, and here we go. Now Heiskanen starts up for the Dallas Stars. I do have an Adriana Gray super chat that I must read once we get a pause in the action here. But we have too much happening on the screen with 50 seconds to go here in this power play opportunity. Dallas finally gains the zone. They pass it to Heiskanen up top. Over to Matt Duchene, who finds Moose down low. Remember, he had that terrific pass to Johnston. I wonder if he's looking for something similar. Nothing doing that time when he tries to get to Johnston. Johnston loses the puck, and Minnesota is going to be able to clear it there. Sturm goes for the line change, get some fresh legs out there on the penalty kill as Ottinger feels that puck. And now we have Dallas coming over center ice. The red line, that's Duchene, who has a clean zone entry, but they're going to not lose the zone. Rantanen's able to save it at the blue line, passes it over to Heiskanen, passes it back to Rantanen, who goes cross ice, shot blocked by Minnesota, and they are going to clear it. They are going to kill the power play. 2-1, there it is. Killed. Ryan Hartman, you are saved from that slashing call. Dallas still trying to exert some pressure here on Minnesota. Even strength, though we are. Shot from the point. Can't find its way through. Good D by Minnesota there. Good pressure by Dallas. They're going to regroup, but there is a delayed offside, so they can't enter the zone just yet. Jamie Benn must retreat back. He has the puck now. Coming in over the line. Shot wide over the glove side of Wallstead. Michael Bunting not going to be able to win this board battle. Minnesota's going to come away with this puck. Lose it at the line as they break out. That steal. Nice play by Steele to turn that puck over. Shot. Save by Wallstead. What a big save there, as that could have been a costly turnover by the Minnesota Wild. Sam Steele with a terrific defensive play to turn it back the other way for Dallas. Finds Blackwell, who is streaking in past Bogosian. Blackwell with the shot, and Wallstead being a wall, making that save. Now we have the super chat from Adriana Gray that said, thanks SDBN for all the streams. Adams are calm as he gets distracted easily. Steve's are stressful. He gave me many heart attacks last night. Jesse, you are in between them from a Habs fan. Thank you. Round of applause to you for that super chat. Round of applause to everybody tuning in tonight. I'd appreciate a like on the stream. 5 gifted memberships from Bob Fish. Thank you, Bob Fish. If you received one of those gifted memberships from Bob, please thank Bob. We do have to announce the winner of our contest. We were giving away a Boston Bruins Fanatics Authentic Pro Fleece Stadium Series Edition. And I'm going to play this because we must get hyped for this winner here. We must build the tension to the person out there who's going to be getting their hands on this fleece. I hope you've been hanging out here and you still are hanging out this entire stream to know that you are a winner tonight. Only one of Minnesota or Dallas will be a winner, but you are already a winner before our final bell. And that winner is Logan Timmons. Logan Timmons is our winner tonight. SDPN will be sending you an Authentic Pro Fanatics Boston Bruins fleece. Congratulations. SLS98 with the super chat that says both teams have very mid unis. Stars need to go to their new alternate retro ones and the Wild to the North Star / Subway unis. I hard disagree. I think Minnesota has very cool jerseys. Their logo is so sick, where it's like a bear and also Minnesota and the star and everything. Like the Minnesota Wild logo is sick, and I like green. Green's a great sports color because I feel like not a lot of teams, like we have 2 green teams on the screen here, but across pro sports, green's not utilized enough, and the green teams are pretty cool. Hard disagree on the mid unis. Like these unis. All right. Halfway done. 10 minutes left in the third period. Puck drop for Oilers and Ducks has been delayed till 10:20. They always set puck drop at 10 and then always delay it to 10:20. I don't know why they always do that. Just set it at 10:20. So Adam's not coming up in 5 minutes or 7 minutes. He'll be coming up at 10:20 as my Sportsnet Plus stream is freezing here. Oh my goodness, of all the times. Of all the times to freeze. There we go. We've kicked back into action. Just a little blurry. Jason Robertson. If I can see the pixelated Jason Robertson going back there, that is what happens. Giggling Cat says, as we regroup here, Quinn Hughes all alone in front. He's going to get a bounce, and that's going in the back of the net. Quinn Hughes' shot bounces off Ryan Hartman. Oh, my goodness. It is Minnesota tonight. He's played so many minutes. He's been all over the ice. Already 1 goal tonight. This one is going to be credit to him as he goes for the fist bump at the bench. A Quinn Hughes shot bounced off Miro Heiskanen and into the back of the net. No, it's Ilya Lyubushkin. I can't get who it bounced off of. It's Lyubushkin's back skate. That's it. Minnesota's up 3-2. Quinn Hughes does it again. Oh my goodness. Add that to the scoreboard there. Oh, wrong team. One more time. There we go. Goal Minnesota. Quinn Hughes. Minnesota gets it done for the Wild. Of course it's Quinn. It's been Quinn night all night. It's been a Hughes party. If it was going to be anybody, it was going to be Quinn Hughes. Kaprizov shoots that puck on Ottinger, and that's a save. The crowd at the X is going crazy right now. as a couple bounces go Quinn Hughes' way. And when you are good, you make your own luck and you make your own bounces. Unbelievable. Giggling Cat with the super chat that says, chat wants to know the name of the dramatic piano that you played. This one? I prefer to think that we're just able to hear your internal soundtrack. Yeah, I don't play that. That plays automatically when tense things are happening. That's not me. I don't know where that comes from. That's just in the ether. Anybody who's here during our World Series streams, you probably have PTSD from that sound. That's not me. So I can't tell you what it is. I don't control it. It's just what happens. 5 gifted memberships from Wes Richard. Thank you, Wes. As always, little confetti for Wes Richard and a little confetti for Quinn Hughes. Insider J Money says, you're streaming tonight? When did it start? Started at the top of the game. J Money. We are in crunch time here. Jays are losing 6-1, by the way. 2 Minnesota teams up right now. Are the T-Wolves up? We're Minnesota sports maxing. Minnesota sports maxing tonight as the Jays are up against the Twins. They're trailing right now 6-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. They have 3 outs left to get 5 runs. We'll see how that goes. The Minnesota Wild here, 3-2 against the Dallas Stars. Opportunity to get into the second round here with one more victory. Just close this thing out, 7:33. That puck is been dropped there. Oh, and the feed is scrambly. Okay, Sportsnet. You're gonna have to fix this one. Probably gonna have to wait for that to come back in. We super chat here from Insider J Money that says, I want all the Hughes on Mini. Get Jack off New Jersey. Has anybody else's Sportsnet feed gone down? Mine's frozen. It's a little green. Thanks, Rogers. The Wolves and Wild could clinch a Game 6 series at home today. Ah, there we go. Okay, we're back. We are back. Rogers' feed dropped out for a little bit there. I'll have to reset the clock for you. To what's on my screen, which is about that. There we go. All right. Sorry for all the tech issues there. Dallas is pressuring. Spurgeon, nice defensive play there. Dallas, who has not been great at 5-on-5 this entire series, is going to need a 5-on-5 goal here. I can't imagine the referees will be pulling out their whistles at this juncture of a postseason game. We've seen some ticky-tack calls. Zach Bogosian earlier went down very easy, and he got a call. We've seen a slash on Hartman that Dallas couldn't capitalize on. But I can't imagine if it's not a puck over the glass, we don't see something here called. So they're going to have to do what they haven't been able to do, which is win this battle at 5-on-5. Yes, we will get that confetti for Hayden. Thank you, Denise. Hayden, producer Hayden, the huge Minnesota Wild fan who works here at SDPN, is very happy about this current score. But that's all it is right now, is a current score. Minnesota still has work to do to close out this game and close out this series. They come in over the line here. Send it in deep. Foligno's going to win this board battle. Lays a check there on Ben, who has been laying a whole bunch of cross checks to heads his entire career. Matt Duchene comes in over the line for the Dallas Stars. Isn't able to hold the zone. Puck is sent back and then over the red line for the Stars and then dumped in and touched. Maverick Bourque goes in against Quinn Hughes to set up offensively for the Stars. Is this where we're going to get some pressure from the Stars? Bourque has been great all night Quinn Hughes lays a cross-check there on the guys battling along the boards there for the puck. It's still amongst the feet of the players. Bork's able to win it loose there. Minnesota's very happy with this. As long as the puck stays scrummed, time keeps ticking down. Quinn Hughes is going to stand behind his own net, behind Wallstead. He's going to get a little pressure there. He's taken down. No call. Oh, no. No call. Yep, I told you. They're not calling anything. Heiskanen dances to the slot. Shot is blocked. Puck is cleared out of the zone. Woo! Quinn was hot. John says, yes, he was. He was not happy about that. There's a big hit there. Rantanen laying the body. Recognizing the stakes. He's not going down quietly. Harley gets the puck at the point. Over to Heiskanen. He's being played by Boldy. Shot goes wide. It's going to go over to Middleton, who's going to play it down the ice. Looks like it'll be icing. Yes, it will be. Boldy was first back to touch it, but no. Refs, linesmen's, zebras are saying icing, and we're going back to the other end. Foligno laying the big body on Bischel there. They're showing the replay. I want to see this Rantanen hit on Spurgeon. Rantanen lays out Jared Spurgeon. My goodness. This is playoff hockey, people. We got some good action right now. It was offside. Is that the call? Offside, not icing. That's what he called. Thank you. Thank you, chat. That's why I have the chat. That's why I have the chat. Alex Mercer, who owns alpacas, says, my alpacas and I are watching the game and your stream. Consuela keeps looking at your screen. Hello, Consuela, the alpaca. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Just for Consuela, everybody, can we do a little dance for Consuela? I hope Consuela likes snails. I hope Consuela likes pandas. The DOS are coming out for Consuela. And of course, we need the sheep that cannot perform fast enough. There's the slow-moving sheep. Yes, for Consuela. And of course, the giraffe will whip in nay-nay as we go out with the DOS. Thank you to the DOS for coming out tonight. We appreciate your presence. Always showing up here. I don't know who let you in my house. Make sure you close the door on your way out. Make sure you clean up your dirt, your dirty feet there as you leave the stream. Dancing sheep. Are you still going? Are you still going in slow motion? Yeah, you're still doing it. Okay, you got to pick it up a little. You got to pick it up a little. We don't have all day. We're almost back from commercial break. If you could just hurry. I know you like these moves. Okay, I'm done. All right, thank you. Thank you for finishing as the hockey is back. 4 minutes remaining. Minnesota is going to dump that puck in. That's Kaprizov sending the puck along the boards. Dallas is going to come over the red line as they need something quick as their season is on the line. Minnesota is going to ice this puck. Yes, they are. That is icing. Last time it was just offside. This time it is indeed icing. We will go back to the other end of the ice, and we will have a face-off draw there. Oilers and Ducks are coming up at 10:20. If you want to watch that with a member of the SDPN crew, you get to watch that with Adam Wild. He's going to be streaming that as soon as the puck is dropped. And when this stream ends, it'll redirect you directly to there. So if you want to go there when this is done, it'll port you right over and you will get some Adam Wild late night Gripper Nation content. 3:36 left in the Dallas Stars season. They are unfortunate to be in the Central Division. This should not be a first-round matchup. But either way, going home in the first round has to be a disappointment for the Dallas Stars. They have flaws, but they are still one of the top teams. And every year, year in, year out, they are Stanley Cup or bust. They have Stanley Cup aspirations year in and year out. Wallsted's going to catch this puck and hold on to it for the face-off draw. Easy catch there for him. Everybody at the X is currently standing. They are waving their rally towels. And here we go. Jake Ottinger is out of the net. No, that's the wrong team. There we go. Empty net graphic. Empty net graphic, please. There we go. Empty net graphic. Empty net graphic is on the screen. The Dallas Stars. 3:16 remaining. You know what time it is. It's crunch time. Dallas wins the face-off draw, but they can't maintain possession in the zone. Miro Heiskanen's going to go back to his own end and regroup here. They're going to have to break out quickly. They send it in along the boards. Are they going to win this puck battle and keep it in? Heiskanen's working hard for it. They're battling. Who's going to come away with it? This is great for Minnesota. They win it and are able to ice it, and it doesn't reach the red line as Jason Robertson goes back and gets it. Francois Labelle says, my bracket has Dallas in 6. At least I might have them in 6 at any point for that. No points for just calling the games. Here we go. Dallas enters the zone once again. Minnesota, playing great defense as they have done all series long, is able to clear it, and at the line, that is going to be a batted puck out of the air. Dallas keeps it. Johnston throws it on net. That's going to be caught by Wallsted. And we have one more faceoff. We have another faceoff. 2:16 remaining now. Empty net. 5 gifted memberships from Francois Labelle. Timeout. Hey, look at that timeout graphic. Thank you, timeout graphic, for working tonight. I know it's late for you. I know we're going to have to pay you overtime for that one. I know you don't usually like working past 10 p.m., but timeout graphic did show up for us tonight on the scoreboard. Appreciate it. Everybody's taking a breath here. 2:16 left. Drawn up plays. Minnesota looking to do something they haven't done in a very long time, and that's reach the second round. The Dallas Stars, as I was saying, luck is not on their side with this drawing here in the first round. You're in a tough Central Division, but either way, you would have had to beat this team to get to the Stanley Cup final, you know? Puck is dropped there. We will regroup on the end of the Dallas Stars season once it officially ends. We're still 2:06 away from something like that potentially happening. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Kaprizov going back here, trying to win this battle with the empty net there. Can't do it. Can't get into the back of the net. Dallas is going to get this puck over the red line, dump it in once again. Rantanen trying to fish it out for his team. The Wild have been great in this situation, and they are great once again as Matt Boldy's able to steal it, and Matt Boldy is loose, and he's going to put it to the empty net. That's it. That's it, Minnesota. You are going to the second round. Matt Boldy with the empty netter to seal it, barring a miracle. Minnesota has clinched a spot in the second round. Miro Heiskanen tried his best to hook Boldy and take him down. Could not do it. It is pandemonium at the X right now. 1:30 on the clock. Net is no longer empty for the Stars. Ottinger is back in there. He now leaves for the extra attacker. We are partying here for Minnesota. Gonna have an icing call there on Dallas. Gifted memberships galore in the chat. Thank you to Giggling Cat gifting 10 SDP VIP memberships. Somewhere out there in the GTA, producer Hayden is celebrating as his Minnesota Wild are 114 away from the second round and doing what a lot of people did not think that they could do, and that's knock off the Dallas Stars. When they made the move this season for Quinn Hughes, Bill Guavin was saying, I'm all in. We are going for it. We are doing it. Who cares about the future? It is about right now. And that move for Quinn Hughes, who cares how it looks in the future? Who cares about the prospects that Vancouver has? You right now have 2 goals by Quinn Hughes in your first series victory in 11 years, including the game winner to put your team up 3-2 in this thing. And now with 15 seconds left, you're going for it once again, just to add insult to injury. Brock Faber. Is it Brock Faber who got that from distance into that empty net? It is 5-2. Let the Joel Eriksson Ek, who left with an injury earlier, fires that into the back of the net. I believe that's, is it Boldy? No, it's Boldy firing into the empty net. Boldy fires into the empty net. I thought Eriksson Ek was first on the line to the bench fist bumps. Matt Boldy, insult to injury for Dallas. 15 seconds left. Can we just start the celebrations? Can I just play Olay one more time? 5 seconds. They're running it out. Colt that says need a GM front office award. Bill Guavin for the W. For the first time since 2015. On the 11-year anniversary, April 30th, 2015, is when they defeated the Blues in round number 1 to reach the second round. The Minnesota Wild have done it once again and have won a first-round series. Congratulations, Minnesota. Congratulations to all of the fans in St. Paul. Congratulations to all of the fans around the world. Congratulations to producer Hayden. You made the trade of the season acquiring Quinn Hughes, and you got him for this. 2 goals tonight. Game winner. Over 25 minutes of ice time. Electric stuff from Quinnesota, leading this team into the second round. Wolstead was a wall. Absolutely fantastic in this series. Fantastic in this game. Exceptional stuff up and down the lineup. Boldy, great game. The vets showed up. Tarasenko with the goal. Veteran presence. The Felinos, both of them. Lot of fourth line play early on in that first period. Set the tone for this team, and it led to this victory. Brock Faber has found his best friend for life in Quinn Hughes. Faber has been electric this series. Faber was electric in this game. Spurgeon got laid out a little there towards the end, but the captain leading by example. And Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov, always in there, always dynamic offensively. But how can we not make tonight about Minnesota? He saw ghosts, but he also saw the second round. Colorado's up next. You want a gauntlet? You gotta go through Dallas and then Colorado. I don't know. I kind of believe. They got a little bit of magic in them, don't they? Don't they? Thank you for hanging out here tonight. It's been a fun night. Adam Wild is up right now. You want to go see him stream Ducks, Oilers? This stream is going to kick you right over to his stream when we are done. We have some super chats I do need to read, though. Colt says, retribution for stealing the North Stars. Yeah, that's the next battle. Freak 811 gave 20 STP memberships. Holy cow. Holy cow. Freak said, I jumped out to finish school project. Back to gloat. Let's go wild, Boldy. I hope you got your project done. Fun fact, Guavin was also an Oiler. Shout out the super chat there from Cam. And then more gifted memberships. These from Snoopy Kendall. 5 of them. Denise says, think Big X's guy's house is in one piece. Yeah, a dude bought the X from the old XL Energy Center and put it on his front lawn. I hope he's doing well tonight. Thank you, Denise, for that super chat. Thank you for that reminder. I hope the Giant X is celebrating with a couple spicy pops and a party tonight. Woo! Thank you for being here. On your way out, please hit like on the stream. On our way out, we have 5 more gifted memberships, this time from Carl. Thank you, Carl. Once again, confetti for Carl. Once again, confetti for Minnesota on the anniversary of their last first round victory, April 30th, 2015. Now on April 30th, 2026. They have done it once again. Mwah! Thank you to Robert Malloy, who modded this chat all night long. You were spectacular in your modding skills. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Hit like on your way out. Have fun watching Adam Wild. He is up next with Ducks and Oilers. Good night.